Hi guys, this is Information Girl coming in to show you something new about Pablo Picasso. Let's get going. So I'm going to first tell information before we start. His occupation was an artist. He was born October 25th, 1881 in Malaga, Spain. Died April 8th, 1973 in Moguins, France. His famous works are The Pipes of Pan, Three Musicians, Guernica, The Weeping Woman. His style and period, Cubism, was Cubism and modern art. Where did Pablo Picasso grow up? Pablo Picasso grew up in Spain, where he was born on October 25th, 1881. His father was a painter and art teacher. Pablo liked to draw from an early age. Legend has it that his first word was pis, short for pencil in Spanish. It soon became apparent that Pablo had a little interest in school, but was an extremely talented artist. When he was 14, Pablo attended a famous art school in Barcelona. A few years later, he went to another school in Madrid. However, Pablo was bored with the classic teachings of art school. He didn't want to paint like people hundreds of years ago. He wanted to create something very new and extraordinary. Well, another thing was the Blue Periods. It was a very somber time. It was from the 1901 to 1904. In 1901, Pablo's close friend Carlos Casagemas committed suicide. Pablo became very sad. Around the same time, he began painting in Paris. For the next 4 years, his paintings were dominated by the color blue. Many of his subjects were sad and somber looking. He painted people with elongated features and faces. Some of his paintings from this period include poor people on the seashore and the old guitarist. The Rose period, from the 1904 to the 1906. Eventually, Pablo got over his depression. He also fell in love with the French model. He began to use warmer colors in his painting, including pinks, reds, oranges, and beiges. Art historians call the time in Pablo's life the Rose period. He also began to paint happier scenes, such as circuses. Some of his paintings from the period include The Peasants and Mother and Child. Cubism. In 1904, Picasso began to experiment with a new style of painting. He worked with other artists named Georges Braque. By 1909, they had created a completely new style of painting called Cubism. In Cubism, the subjects were analyzed and broken up into different sections. Then the sections are put back together and painted from different perspectives and angles. Go here to see an example of Pablo Picasso's art. Well, I actually have a link down below in the description. In 1912, Picasso began to combine Cubism and collage. This was where he would use sand or plaster in his paint to give it texture. He would also apply materials such as colored paper, newspapers, and wallpaper to his painting to give them added dimension. Some of Picasso's Cubism paintings included The Three Musicians and Portrait of Ambroise Vollard. Neoclassical style. Although Picasso would continue to experiment with Cubism, around 1921, He went through a period of painting more classical style paintings. He borrowed ideas from Renaissance painters such as Raphael. He created powerful characters and almost appeared to be three-dimensional, like statues. Some of his work in this style include The Pipes of Pan and Woman in White. Surrealism. Around 1924, Pablo became interested in the Surrealist movement. Surrealist paintings weren't supposed to make any sense. They often appeared to do something you would see in a dream or a nightmare. Although Picasso didn't become a member of the movement, he did incorporate some of their ideas into his paintings. Some people called this time his monster period. Examples of surrealism influence on Picasso's art include Juera and The Red Armchair. Legacy. Today, Pablo Picasso is considered the greatest artist of the 20th century. Many people consider him to be one of the greatest in all of art history. He painted in a number of different styles and created many unique contributions to the world of art. Near the end of his life, he painted a number of self-portraits. One of his last works of art was a self-portrait done with crayon and paper entitled Self-Portrait Facing Death. He died a year later at the age of 91 on April 8, 1973. Examples of art from the next page. The Old Guitarist. The Girl Before the Mirror. Self-Portrait. Child with a Dove. The Weeping Woman. Three Musicians. Thank you for reading this presentation and have a great day.